It is horrible to see a member of the law enforcement community injured in anything related to that accident. Related to your Metro trains. We've noticed there have been many members of the Crenshaw community, members of the South LA community that have been injured in similar accidents. And I would only hope that in this process, where you closely monitor the progress of the deputy, that you remember that there are hundreds of others that have been subjected to the same amount of treatment for reasons related to road crossings. And that's it.
Carolyn Fowler, Crenshaw Community Coalition. Happy holidays to everyone. And I do want to commend the chair on looking into the 110 Silver Line. That has certainly been a concern for our community for quite some time. And Supervisor Ruby Thomas for supporting that. I also understand how, when we talk about safety, as Damien mentioned, frequently our law enforcement officers are at risk with the safety, and so are hundreds of others. I also, as it relates to we tie that into Measure J and what has happened on that measure, I want to commend the mayor for getting us together. He's done a real job on getting our coalition together, and hopefully we're looking forward to changing how the board looks at communities, particularly communities of color, and how that better collaboration can be in not only just having a train go down, but the infrastructure around it, as the pictures that MTA always shows in the economic development surrounding that. So thank you, and again, have a safe and holiday.
After George, let me call up Eric Romaine, Joanna Gasper, and Sue Young. Yes, sir.
George Mazzetti, Director of Policy, Congress of Racial Equality, California. I'd like to thank the chair, Mr. Antonovich, for actually caring about safety and for his position on Measure J so that we don't permatax us into total death to 2069 when nobody knows what's going to go happening. This is just nothing but outright greed. And the greed in this building here by certain people is now willing to put the entire state of California at risk through SCA Constitutional Amendment number 4 to take the vote from 2/3 to 55% for transportation projects. Now, there's something wrong with you all here when you're just so mad that you can't pilfer your friends with more free money and cost overruns like the $10 billion on the subway to the sea overrun, which nobody can test, so that your friends can have some free money at our expense. Thank you.
Eric?
I'm going to let my colleague Sonia go first.
Excellent.
I'll go after.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning, MTA Board. My name is Sun Young Yan with the Bus Riders Union and the lead organizer of the No to Measure J campaign. We're here today because we want to talk to the MTA. After the defeat of Measure J, by the way, which was defeated by 16,000 votes, which the coalition to defeat Measure J we feel is mainly responsible for, because unlike how MTA and the PR department has been talking about that Measure J was defeated by conservatives and reactionary votes, it was actually the folks that supported Measure R last time who flipped their vote, because precisely MTA in the last 4 years of Measure R has been very irresponsive and irresponsible to the community. The Bus Riders Union in particular, we are asking for MTA to restore the 1 million hours of bus service at a time when your budget grew $600 million. You're massively cutting bus service and harming the most transit dependent. This is the right time to come back to the table. We're opening and inviting you all to come back and renegotiate and talk about what a real transportation looks like.
Good job. Too bad, Sal.
Good morning, MTA Board members. Eric Roman, also from the Bus Riders Union. Following up on the comments of my colleague Sun Young Yang, we encourage this board and this agency and anyone in this room that's genuinely committed to a real, robust mass transit expansion program to consider a plan to massively expand the bus system. Some people in this room might say, well, we can't afford that. We can't afford that because currently this agency is committed to primarily highway and rail construction at the expense of the bus system. If the members of this board and those in this room want to change course, we urge you to do so. We think that instead of the formula that was put forward in Measure J, a new proposal could be put forward that centers on generating revenue for the bus system primarily, including beginning with expanding the bus system from 2,500 to 3,500 buses. Right? As some of you may know, a lot of people in this agency would like to recreate what we have in New York.
Thank you. Thank you. After Joanna, Lisa Kovatov, Arsley Barboza, and Jennifer Terrell.
Good morning, my name is Joanna Gaspar. I'm a member of the Bus Riders Union and a student. The BRU's opposition to the Measure J was our way of expressing our objection to the violation of our civil rights. Its defeat showed that bus riders knew that this tax rate wouldn't benefit the necessity for a better transportation in LA. To a part-time student and part-time worker like myself, having to pay $75 every month is a burden. We don't qualify to the program that you guys created simply because we don't have enough units to show that we care for schools. Reducing the fare to $42 would benefit the people of LA because this increased ridership, both not only for buses but also for rail. How can you think of new projects when you can't even keep up with the ones that you already have? I ask you today to take into consideration to meet with a coalition that supports mass transit expansion for LA County, but has rejected the corporate-driven anti-civil rights and anti-environment visions. Thank you.
Thank you. Lisa? Riley Barboza? Jennifer Terrell? Jan Suter? Sylvia Plummer? And Dr. Bill Sherman? Yes. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Araceli Barboza, and I'm a student and a member of the BRU. And I also work. I work part-time. I'm from East LA, and I have to take the bus to my work, which is in Santa Monica, right by the pier. And it's a hassle, I have to tell you. I have to take less hours of work because I can't work late, because if I do, that means I have to walk half an hour in the dark to get to my house from the bus stop. And that's not fair to me and other people who are like me, especially as a woman. I'm asking the MTA reinstore the million hours of bus service that has taken away in the past years.
Okay, let me say, we have to talk about the Silver Line. That was the item that we were discussing. The other is on public comment that you would have to speak on. So keep your remarks to the Silver Line issue that we're talking about, and that will be at the next meeting. Okay, you can continue.
Oh, okay. So I'm demanding that you would install these hours of service, that as a student, I can't afford the bus pass that qualifies for full-time students because I'm a part-time student, because I have to work. And as a part-time student, I don't get the privilege to pay $30 a month.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Jan Suter, Sylvia Plummer, Dr. Bill Sherman, Carol Kamin, Joe Connell, Don Jones, Clint Simmons.
There you go. It's me, I guess. Go. Flip a coin, huh?
Good morning. My name is Clint Simmons. I'm with the Crenshaw Assembly Coalition. I just thank Director Tonovich for addressing the Silver Line. That's one of the problems we've had on the Harbor Freeway with the bus service. In addition to the Silver Line, I noticed that MTA has removed a lot of bus service from the system in order to force people to ride the train For example, on the Expo line, I was talking with a lady who have always used a bus on Jefferson to get to and from work. Now she have to make 2 transports and leave home 45 minutes earlier in order to get to where she's going. And I don't know why the MTA, who say that they're concerned about making transit better for the people, but let's do it for the people who work instead of being concerned about those who want to ride the train service to sports events and things of that nature. It seems like you're more geared to helping those who are making it to downtown and the sports activities and that kind of thing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for giving me a chance to speak.
Thank you.
My name is Don Jones, and with the No on Measure J Coalition. I'm here to express our sympathy and our grief at the loss of this employee, and to try to point out that we are not against the public service employees who work for us. We are not against the hard-working employees at the Metro. We're simply here to point out that the tunnel that will connect...
This has to be on the Silver Line right now, what we're talking about.
We're concerned about the safety that's an issue to all the first responders that might be called to a tunnel fire in that area. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Barbara Holland. Joanne Knuckles. Wanacola. Okay, get at the microphone when you give your name, please.
My name means Alcala. Alcola means your tail. You know, cola in Spanish means tail. You just call me Mr. Cola. My name is Alcala.
Well,
you spend all your years studying English and you don't know how to read a name. It's amazing.
No, I'm playing good.
I was a teacher for 20 years, so I can tell you English is a crazy language. Anyway, it's the language of crazies. Look at us. Talking about transportation, and you remove people's cars, you tow them away,
You're talking about the Silver Line right now.
Yeah, the Silver Line. My car was taken near the Silver Line.
Okay, good luck. Janet Dodson. Janet Dodson. John Walsh. And Arnold Sachs.
Big help, John. This is being recorded. I'm sorry.
If only it were as easy to get rid of John Walsh as it is to get rid of the Pledge of Allegiance. John Walsh, blogging at HollywoodHighlands.org, 1.5 million server requests in the past 15 months. The mayor has left the room. The reason the mayor has left the room...
Okay, on the Silver Line.
In this envelope is a map of the Silver Line. I will be here and I will give this. These are the 15,000 people who signed the petition for him to resign from Fix the Debt. If he can't stand up to John Walsh, he can't stand up to the Republicans.
Thank you. Okay, that includes all of the public. Excuse me, Mr. Arnold Sachs.
He walked out.
And then that includes those who had signed up for item 3.
Very, very festive. Thank you. Good morning, Arnold Sachs. One other thing to be looked at the Silver Line is the pricing structure. Why, when you have an easy pass, you have to pay $1? You have eliminated a lot of bus service that corresponds to the Harbor Freeway, forcing people on the Silver Line. Torrance just cut its buses during the midday service. Gardena just cut its buses during midday services. Stay on the Silver Line, and now we find out that all these other problems already exist on the Silver Line. But my question is if I get in the Silver Line in downtown LA and I ride to Staples Center, I have to pay an extra $1. Why is that? I'm not traveling outside a zone. Why do I have to pay an extra $1 to go from the Harbor Freeway station to El Monte, which is 2 zones? I'm not going to El Monte. I'm only going downtown. Why am I paying the extra $1? Why is the inequitable fees charged in the Silver Line not being looked at.
Thank you very
Why
much.
isn't the bus riders...
Okay, we will now, thank you. We will now proceed to item 80. I have a conflict, so Director Du Bois will chair this portion.
Your staff report, please.
That ought to change that.